Dan, tell us a little bit about what today's been about.
Today's been about me meeting the characters that essentially I write about. I write about a young footballer who's at an academy who wants to be one of the best players in the world and come to Brighton to see what you've got in your intake, the under-11s, their year sixes in schools. And we were talking about football and about books and about writing and stories, and it was an exchange of information really. And they were fantastic feet on the ground. You've got a great set of kids here. I haven't seen them play, but I gather that they must be fantastic to even be at this stage. As we know, in life and in football, they're by no means guaranteed to make it to the very top of the game, but their feet are on the ground. They're clever kids, and if they can put that on the pitch, then the future looks rosy. The sad thing was, for once in his life, Dylan Simmons actually had a point. Jamie had hardly touched the ball all game, and he knew it.
Dan is an author that the boys have been studying this term, and they involve a character called Jamie Johnson. And what's brilliant about him as a protagonist is that he doesn't just do everything right. He makes mistakes. You know, he's a boy, similar age to the boys that we have here, and they can sort of follow him as he tries to do exactly what the boys here are trying to do, which is to make it as a footballer. And it's such a great tool for us to be able to use that to improve the boys' literacy skills.
They're the kind of books that I would have wanted to have read when I was younger, that thankfully it looks like these boys want to read, and they're getting quite popular. The BBC are making a mini-series which is going to be on next year. And we bring football and school and life together, because the whole point of the books is actually not the football. It's about a kid with a dream and all the obstacles in their way, and the football is what it all hangs on and builds from. But really it's about someone trying to achieve an ambition and you hopefully being on their side.
Education is a massive part of what we do here. We look at the whole player. We don't just look at the football side of the player or the physical side of the player. It's very much about developing well-rounded individuals who can think for themselves, be creative, and academically obviously reach their potential, because that's crucial in any individual's life. And just because they're pursuing a dream of football, which we hope they'll all make, in reality it's about developing them as people.
One of the questions I had was, would you be a footballer or would you be an author? And I said to them, there's no reason why you can't be both, because you've got a whole life to be an author, and even when you are a footballer there's so much downtime. Why can't you use your experiences and use your time to tell stories and to explain to people what's happening in your life? But the fantastic education infrastructure that you've got here at Brighton means that you're going to turn out not only great footballers but rounded human beings. So I think, we could well have some writers here.
I find it really fun, because at school you just go and you do the same things that you know, but sometimes here they surprise you. Earlier we were writing questions for him, and we thought of lots of questions like who inspired you to be a writer, what was your first dream, and things like that.
Great to see someone of Dan's calibre, a fully fledged author, coming in and talking to the boys, but he's not the only one. You've had a few sort of star names come in and give these sort of talks to the boys over the past year.
Yeah, well, very much what we try and do is add value wherever we can. The boys that come out of school, whether that's for 20% or 40% of their week, it's really important for us to acknowledge that they're going to miss certain experiences at school, and if we can attract the big names and get them in to educate or just to interact with the boys, that's a massive thing for the boys. It's incredibly inspiring. And equally it helps them think in different ways, because the reality of what they're doing here is very different to the reality of their peers, and we need to recognise that and be able to add value wherever we can. Really important.